Alright guys, welcome to my review of It, Welcome to Derry, Episode 6. Can't say I really like this episode, not gonna lie. This was a filler piece, it was a filler episode. Not that they're bad, they are sometimes necessary for plot to help build things and move things along in a certain way, but they still have to be satisfying. And I thought like this one was probably the weakest episode of the whole season. And again, you know, I don't begrudge them for a filler episode, but to me, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great filler episode. We did learn a little bit more about Pennywise, but also not really. Not really. We learned that the psychiatric nurse, or just the nurse, that was down at the, I don't know, psych ward, mental hospital, whatever you want to call it. Her father was Pennywise the Clown, basically, before Pennywise the Clown. Same person. So that's the body that Pennywise chose to imitate, one presumes. You know, we don't really learn that much, actually. We just learned that her father was Pennywise the Clown at some point. And we know that, you know, Pennywise has taken on that form, so logic dictates he just imitated the father. But we know that she's a bit mental. Probably as you would be, actually. If you'd seen your father murdering children, or what you think is your father murdering children, you would. Yeah, you would. You'd be a bit mental. So, yeah. I'll be kind of intrigued to see whether they explain that sort of plot thread a little bit. You know, plucking at that thread and explaining it a little bit more. Because she did open the door to Pennywise and hug him, which is a bit weird. You know, what's Pennywise's end goal at that point? Like, it was she feeding him children? Like, was it just manipulation? What was it? Who knows? But I'll be intrigued to see where they go with that, at the very least. Outside of that, not a lot else really happened. The Proto-Losers Club bands together a little bit more. Fine. And then there's basically, it sets the stage for the police chief to come down to the sort of black-only Air Force infantrymen, airmen pub / moonshine locale to basically lynch him at the end. And that's kind of it, really. Not a lot else really happened. I'm sure other people have, you know, a different interpretation of this. I'm sure other people had maybe some broader things that stuck out to them. But for me, that was kind of it. It was genuinely a bit of a nothing burger episode. I did feel like the server in the bar giving the kids basically rum and coke, or vodka and coke, whatever. I don't even know what it was, but it was special Air Force Coke was what they were saying, or something like that. I felt like that was a bit of a weird plot thread. That was a bit of a weird interaction. It's like, that's weird. Like, why? Why are they doing that? That's weird, isn't it? Why are you giving, like, you know they're children. You can see that they're children. Why are you giving them alcohol? It's a bit odd. Bit odd, not gonna lie. Bit odd there. And then giving the boy of the Proto-Losers Club, Ricardo, whatever his name is, drumsticks to start playing in the band. It was just all a bit weird. That was all weird. Now, maybe that'll be revealed to be Pennywise. I can't imagine it is. I just think that was a really bizarre interaction wholesale. And then, yeah, the whole lynching thing, that didn't happen in that area, as far as I'm aware, where this is supposed to be set. You know, that state, that never happened in that time period. So, a bit weird. That is agenda for agenda's sake. But I'm hoping maybe something will just they'll sort of swoop in and fix it all, and it'll come to a satisfying ending. I don't know. Who knows? But that one wasn't my favourite episode. It was a bit weak sauce. And I tell you what, though. If they've got one bad episode out of, what, 8, 9? There's like 8 or 9 episodes. That's fine. I can live with that. That's fine. Because there's... this as an overall season... or show, because I don't think they're going to do another season. I think it's just one and done. It's like a limited series. Has been very good. You know, if this is the weakest... and everything else is on par with what's come before... that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. Because overall, this show's been very strong. Very, very strong. And it's a good show overall. Just felt like this was a bit weak sauce. And I understand why. I understand why they've done it. Because they need to set the stage for more things. Like we see the Shard a little bit more. We learn about the guy who's got the Shining. You know, sort of bringing that a little bit more. All those things are kind of interesting. But I don't think it was delivered in a way, or written in a way, and thus delivered, which is massively satisfying. And that's fine. That's just personal opinion. You know, these things happen, right? We can't be on our A game all the time. 'Tis what it is. I will be intrigued to see what they do with the guy with the Shining. Sure, fine. That'll be interesting. You know, because he's basically ignored a commanding officer now. They want him to use the Shining to talk to the dead. I mean, that's risky. That's risky. That's risky, mate. Probably shouldn't do that. And that's it. Not much else. I don't have much else to say, really. It was just a whole lot of meh as an episode. Even though I know you've got to do the fillers. I know you've got to set the stage for what's to come. And maybe this is the sort of calm before the storm, before the crescendo, the cherry on top, the creme de la creme, the pièce de résistance. You know, maybe. Hopefully it is. But it was weak. It was weak sauce. In an otherwise, see a very, very good episodes. So there you go. And there's my review. What did you guys think if you've watched it? Did you like it? Did you not? And I will say, again, they just couldn't help themselves with that bloody ending. God damn it, David Zaslav of HBO. You shit weasel. Never mind, eh? They just couldn't help themselves. They couldn't help themselves. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I'd be very, very curious to hear whether you liked or disliked this. Drop your thoughts down below. Hit subscribe if you are new here. And do turn those bell notifications on. If you want to support me further, please do subscribe to my Patreon. You can find it linked down below in the description box. Take care. Bye-bye now.